Welcome everyone to the Galactica Core Cast, a space for the future Galactica Network citizens to have some fun, chat with us, the team, and learn everything you need to know about the very first cipher state. Before we start, it's very important to remember that myself and our team members up here, Anne and Frederick, we are your guides to the navigating the cipher state, but we are certainly not anything close to a financial advisor, so please don't ask any financial advice. In addition, all guest speakers' opinions are their own, and nothing said in this space constitutes financial or investment advice. So that's anyone who decides to come up and join us on space, which you are welcome to do, by the way. Please just hit the request button at the bottom. We'll be happy to have you up and just have a chat. This is going to be a very loose space. Okay, guys. So firstly, we need to say hello to our primary speakers today. My name's Dave. Hi, how you doing? Communications at Galactica Network, and I love being here. I love talking about Galactica, and I love talking about rights. I love talking about privacy, and I love talking about everything to do with Galactica. We also have Frederick up on stage. How you doing, Frederick? You've had a good week?
Yeah, great week. Hello, everyone. Nice to have you here in the space. I'm Frederick. You can also find me as AStar on Discord, and I'm part of the Galactica development team. So I'm working on the zero-knowledge cryptography, our smart contracts, and also on the wallet that is used so that users can have their zero-knowledge certificates in self-custody and then use it to prove statements on-chain in a private and compliant way. Yeah.
Coolest thing in the world. I know it's highly technical stuff, but it is the coolest thing in the world, I guarantee you. Okay, we also have Anne. Anne, how you doing, man? I hope you have also had a really good week while you've been developing the back end of the network.
Yeah, so like it was a great week. I think we made great progress. So my name is Anh, and I'm part of the development team, and I'm working on the part of the zero knowledge circuit and smart contracts for Galactica.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, so I think we'll just insert a very quick, you know what, actually, no, we'll go straight for the news discussion and then we'll follow up with my little idea later. Okay, guys. So again, this is the Galactica Core Cast. If you are new here, welcome. Please check out the pinned tweet. Join us on Discord, and we will happily tell you everything about the Galactica Network, the future of DeFi, the future of on-chain society. It's a huge overarching concept, and it's a lot of complicated stuff to explain, but we love talking about it. So if you want to know more about about your future digital rights, your privacy, your ability to remain compliant on chain while still maintaining your privacy even under those circumstances, then please just click on through those links and you will find us and you will find out more about that. Okay, guys, please request to speak if you wish to. Give us a like and a retweet on the space. If you can't, please if we can do that, it's free. Nothing on your end. It just really helps us get out in the algorithm, allows us to serve more people, educate more people, and get some more information out there. Okay, so as always, guys, we're going to begin the Corecast this week with the news discussion, just the most important news of the week, really. Before we go over to our main topic, which will be use cases on Galactica Network and of compliant privacy, which is some insane stuff. You really want to stick around for those use cases because they are absolutely incredible, some of them. So yeah, let's go on with the news. The first topic of which is actually Binance. Binance has actually basically warned that multiple stable coins could be delisted due to the European Union's MiCA bill. Basically, new European rules under MiCA could lead to widespread delisting of stablecoins. That's probably not just of Binance, but across exchanges. MiCA, for anyone who's not aware, is basically the EU's regulatory framework. It was finalized in June, and is now, people are kind of now just coming to terms with this massive document of regulation. So the stablecoin provisions of MiCA will take effect in 2024, in June 2024, so a year later. There are ongoing consultations about this, about like all the minutiae of it. But the EU's law application to decentralized and foreign issuers is kind of unclear, and there's no grace period for existing coins. So that means that there's a high probability that there will be at least some delistings. So I don't know, guys, if either of you have come across this news already, or if you have any insight on any insight or opinion on what if it's possible that this could cause delistings. Frederick, please, mate, you have your hand.
I also read this article, and I think it basically makes sense that Binance is now warning ahead of such a listing event, and I think it's just part of the process of getting to some clear regulation that the EU now has catched up with the centralized stablecoins, more or less, and I think the MiCA bill is mainly focused on them, and all the decentralized solutions for stablecoins or algorithmic one probably were not clear enough how they should regulate it. And therefore, we have now the situation that it's unclear if and how they can comply with these rules. But after reading the article, I was also looking shortly into the MiCA bill again, what actually are the regulations for stablecoins. And what I'm seeing there on the first glance also makes a lot of sense. So that there needs to be a party who's holding the reserve of the stablecoin in a 1-to-1 ratio, and that people can approach this party to exchange stablecoins for with the reserve. Then there is the requirement that the stablecoin needs to have a white paper describing how it works and so on. And that they need to have some office in the EU so that they can be approached by European agencies, I think. So in my opinion, this more or less makes sense. And it's, of course, not so easy that the DeFi ecosystem that has developed in the past now transitions to comply to such regulation. But I think in general, it's a good way that we have at least regulation to start with, and that the space can then comply with in some way.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. It does make a lot of sense. I mean, it does. I guess you could probably clarify for me, Frederick, but it seems like this could end up in a situation where, like, decentralized stablecoins are simply delisted, and we end up with decentralized stablecoins and ones that are regulatory compliant in some way on centralized exchanges, or ones that are or decentralized stablecoins that still possibly survive on protocols like our own, which enable compliance in some way. I'm not sure if you can clarify on where these coins might actually end up existing.
So I'm not sure about this, but I'm actually looking through like some requirements of this MiCA regulations, and it seemed to me that one part of it is it requires KYC. So I'm not sure whether we can try to apply ZK KYC of Galactica to also have a kind of like a middle solutions between the privacy and also the regulation. So I think if that's possible, so if we can kind of integrate, this MiCA regulation into our framework, because I think very a good step to do for Galactica.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wouldn't be too difficult for any specific dApp, I suppose, if you wanted to have like a DEX or something that was specifically compliant with MiCA and any derivative kind of regulation. That would make some sense, would it not?
Yeah, but like I mean, like, you know, but like the protocol that creates a stablecoin themselves, might either like the decentralized one can also kind of integrate like the ZK KYC, so they can
Yeah.
satisfy the KYC requirement, because it's one of the requirement of the regulations. You see.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah, I understand. So, like I say, guys, I think if anything comes out of this kind of news, it's that compliance, the ability to be compliant while maintaining your sovereign identity and your privacy, is only going to get more important over time. So it's something that everyone needs to be considering as they move into the future. Okay, guys, we'll move on to the next topic of news. Let's go on to that. So I'm going to butcher this name. My goodness. With the American presidential candidate, I believe he's second in the Republican nominations, Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm going to say Ramaswamy. Promises crypto policy by Thanksgiving. So that's, I assume this is only if he gets elected, of course. But this gentleman spoke at at an event in New York about establishing rules and guidelines for cryptocurrency, so regulations, if he becomes president. So he's going to be a strong proponent of crypto. I think he's already expressed previously quite a few positive views, and he's referring to regulators as the unconstitutional fourth branch of government, which is interesting, but I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't put such harsh words on the regulators. To be fair, I think the regulators are in a very, very tough spot, politically speaking, I suppose. I'm not fond of a lot of the things they do, but I wouldn't put such harsh words on them. So he mentioned that he's like 75% done with his crypto policy. He's wants thoughtful proposals to compete with things like MiCA and with the regulations coming out of Singapore. Most of this is expressing his concerns about the SEC and the way that they've been handling the regulation by enforcement that's been going on in the US. So we've spoken about this before. This kind of stuff has been going on for months now in the US. And we've also spoken on the almost inevitability of brain drain from the United States to more crypto-friendly and more tech-friendly countries, such as Singapore, such as Portugal, such as Dubai, all sorts of jurisdictions which are actually taking on board the premise of crypto and the at least part of the ethos behind it. Even if they are, obviously government entities and will inevitably try and get some kind of control. But there are far more crypto-friendly jurisdictions than the US, and it is leading to a lot of developers and innovators moving. I mean, I've been speaking to, I must have spoken to 100 people at least in spaces over the last month or two who have directly said that they've moved from the US to Lisbon or to Singapore just because of these reasons, because it's so much more friendly to the work they need to do. So I don't know. Maybe we can form some kind of question from this piece of news, guys. Which jurisdiction do you believe is perhaps friendliest to crypto right now, or actually follows closest to allowing the actual ethos of crypto to exist, rather than like in spirit, rather than just in the letter of the law?
Not sure. I heard that Dubai is quite interesting for a lot of crypto startups, and then of course also Hong Kong is moving into this direction.
Yeah. I think Dubai is definitely high on that list. I think I've seen like 90% of the crypto people that I've been speaking to seem to be coming from Dubai right now. Otherwise, they're in the I think they're in. Where is Token 24/9 being held this year? Is it Hong Kong or is it Singapore? Do we know that?
What are you asking about? I didn't understand it.
Token 29, the massive conference that's going on. I can't remember if it's Singapore or Hong Kong. Regardless, guys, if you're interested in building anything in crypto, it's actually very worthwhile considering your location right now and taking advantage of maybe some regulatory arbitrage. Because right now the world is a complete mess. Like globally, it's a complete mess as far as regulation goes. And if you want to build something, and especially if you want to build it in a frictionless manner, you kind of need to consider your location in the regulatory landscape. Okay.
I just looked it up. So token 2049, probably mean. It's in Dubai in April and in Singapore in September next year.
Okay, there you go. And yeah, token 2049 for anyone who doesn't know, it's a massive conference held every year, and an awful lot of very notable names go there. So if you're into networking in the Web3 kind of crypto scene, definitely worth taking a look and seeing if you can get out there. Okay, guys. So there's one more topic of news that I just want to get through quickly. That's been included just out of interest because there's relevance to us here. So we have a recent report, basically utilizing data from CoinMarketCap, NFT Scan, all these aggregators of data in crypto that has basically says that the majority of NFTs have become completely worthless. So we are kind of all aware, I'm sure, that the NFT market itself has dissipated and has reduced in size greatly over the last year. But this study basically examined like 70,000 collections and found that 95% of these like collections had a market cap of 0. So that's 95% of collections that have actually gone to 0. That's staggering to me. I had no idea that the NFT space, these like NFT collections, had suffered so massively. I don't particularly pay attention to NFT profile pick kind of collections or anything like that, but it seems that that's like the primary culprit here. And I didn't realize that the liquidity drain had affected the NFT space quite so badly. Apparently, just out of interest, like 23 million people are estimated to hold these completely valueless NFTs. It's a massive number. Now, this is the reason why I believe this has any relation at all to Galactica, is because I think we kind of represent as a protocol the evolution of what an NFT is. We are not offering a collectible NFT. We are offering a genuine analog of a citizenship to what is effectively a digital nation state. Now, this incorporates your identity, it incorporates your reputation, it incorporates every aspect of yourself in a digital manner, which also maintains your rights and goes and is built with the ethos of crypto in mind. So it offers so much more than what I imagine that most of these projects that have failed are, which are simply a generative collection of these 10,000 cartoon pictures or whatever they might be. But I think the evolution of NFTs, I don't know if this kind of project is ever going to come back. I would love to get some kickback on that if anyone, either Frederick or Anne, or anyone in the audience, if can answer this question, because I don't know the answer. Do you think that NFTs in that format have any future whatsoever? And how excited are you about the freaking future of NFTs in the form that Galactica is proposing? Frederick, mate, please.
To answer your question, I definitely think that NFTs have potential. And even if in the use cases that we have seen getting hyped so much, like the NFTs of digital artworks, I think what's the only thing that's missing, in my opinion, is a connection to the real world somehow. that you somehow connect the token being held by some account on the blockchain to some consequences in the real world. So something like that you're licensing it somehow, like you have digital licenses that then refer to the state on the blockchain, or something like that there's some link to legal rights of owning something who directly belongs to someone who controls an account or something like this. And I think this is the missing link, because so far it was just a token on chain that was stating that an account is associated with this artwork, but without real consequences. And I hope that Galactica, in the way that we can onboard private data in the zero-knowledge certificates, is also helping in some way to establish those links.
100%, Frederick. I couldn't agree more. Anne, you have your hand up, mate, please.
So like even on Galactica, we also plan to incorporate an NFT, but like in different ways, because they call a soulbound verification SBT. And these NFT are not traded, so they are not subjected to speculations. And they also, as Frederick said, that the NFT should have some connection to the real world, so they represent certain users' kind of private data if they are satisfy certain requirement for the DApp. So that's one thing that that's one use case of the NFT that I can think of on the Galactica space. Another use case I can think for NFT, that for example participation badges, which can also like be quite interesting. So if you like take part in the certain events, or either off chain or in some kind of virtual world, you can also get like some badge like informal NFT. Yeah, so I think the NFT had potential, but like we need to think of like proper use cases for them.
100%, Anne. Yeah, I agree. And like, I think it's definitely just the actual utility you gain from the NFT is what matters now. It's not like I don't think. I think like even profile pictures, like even profile picture NFT collections, I suppose they do have value as long as the identity they provide actually represents you and you use it as an identity. But I think we have. It's very. I would like to just give a little bit of alpha, I guess, because you mentioned like participation NFTs, and that's something that we are currently actually in progress of making a community system for. So this is just for you guys here. I know it's a small room right now, but I think I know almost all of the guys in here from Discord. So shout out to everyone here. It's really good to see you. I'm glad that the community is showing up. It's nice to see you. So we are currently in the throes of building a community program of the people who we believe provide the most value in the community right now. The small as the community is, we would like to involve you guys a lot more. So we're designing a program for that. There will probably be some form of participation in NFT. We are currently actually working out the details of that and seeing the best way of implementing that. Hopefully, so that these things can be tracked and then perhaps be useful in the future in some possible way. Hush, hush, wink, wink. And then, so if you would like, if you have any interest in providing some value to Galactica Network, if you believe you have any skills, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be simply that you're a really good reply guy on Twitter. It could be that you are really good at art. It could be that you have a penchant for making YouTube shorts. It could be that you just want to do some community management. Anything that provides value. We would love to get in touch with you guys and see if you guys might be interested in this program that we're starting. So what you can do if you are interested in that is give me a DM on Discord. So you'll need to probably invite me as a friend because I don't have the whole DMs open to everyone thing. So invite me as a friend. I will check you out and make sure everything's hunky dory, and then I'll accept you as a friend, and we can chat about it. Okay, so that's the little bit of alpha over, I suppose. And now to your regular schedule programming. So yeah, let's see. So let's do a quick reset. Oh, please, Frederick, go on, please.
I just wanted to mention one more thing about the news article and the studies about NFTs being dead. Because looking at it, I'm getting a bit skeptical on what these numbers should actually mean. Because it says that 95% of digital collectibles would be worthless. But to be honest, this doesn't surprise me because there are so many different kinds of NFT collections. As you already said, some of those are not even meant to be traded or to have value, like proof of attendance NFTs, for example. And for example, I myself, I created, 10 NFT collections, and only one of them became a collection that could be traded afterwards. So
it does seem like scaremongery kind of numbers, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I would be interested in what numbers they actually base it on. Did they just scan the blockchain for all NFTs they could find and then check if they are tradable or not? Or if they really took NFTs that had tradable value before and are now worthless, because this would be much more interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. Like actual projects, your Pudgy Penguins, your D-Gods, all these actual collections that have some kind of business behind them, some kind of value behind them. Yeah, that would be more interesting data for sure. Okay, so thanks for the input there, Frederick. It's always good to get a bit more context there, especially when the numbers are so out of whack. I say I don't think 95% of the space can be at zero. That's crazy. At least in the context we're kind of thinking about it. Okay, I guess we're just going to do that quick reset. So if you haven't already, please give us a like and a retweet on the space. We'd really appreciate it, everyone. It's just for the algorithm. It's just so we get, if not more people in the room, we can get more people listening to the recording. Again, we've been getting a lot of people listening to the recording lately, and that's really nice to see. Something that we're also going to be working on actually is like attacking a few more time zones, seeing if we can get some like spread ourselves out a bit more. We like this time slot. It's really nice for the guys for the current community. We want to just enlarge that community. We don't want to take away anything. We just want to add, so that we can just get a few more perspectives and a few more regions involved. So yeah, that's something that we're thinking about right now. Okay, guys. Again, if you can check out the pinned tweet if you haven't already. If you're not in the Cyberstate campaign already and you're in this room, I'm surprised for a start. So if you're not already, just do you have any questions about it? If you're just having trouble onboarding with it, just give us a shout on Discord and we can help you out with that. Okay, so now I want to get on to the the main topic. As you can see, we're looking at use cases for Galactica Network. Now I've asked Frederick and Anne if they can bring like their favorite use case to the table. I've currently got I've got a few, to be fair. So I'm going to let you guys go first, and we'll have a bit of a discussion. Guys, if you want to come up and speak, if you have like a favorite use case, or if you have a use case that you like just have at the back of your head and you don't know if it's possible or technically viable or if it would ever even work, there's no judgment up here. We would love to hear your ideas. So please just request and we're happy to have you up. We'll go first to Anne because he's got his hand up.
So like my first use case is to implement the credit score on blockchain in a private way. So on Galactica, so we can, certain dApp can collect certain data from user, but in the sense that in the private manner that they don't really know what kind of data exactly belong to whom to calculate the certain score for users. And from that, if, for example, for lending protocol, they can give the user better leverage, better fee, or something like that based on this financial score. And I think that is one thing that can encourage user to interact more with the blockchain, so that they behave in a better way, so that they can get better score and get better interaction with other.
I mean, like, I'm sorry, my audio is going in and out, I think, for some reason. I'll check that out and see if I can fix it. But yeah, I mean, like, I think having the ability to like just like go to a DEX and build up like a reputation with people, and allow you like to have you can participate in one DEX and earn like the ability to get like a lower collateral in a lending protocol or something. There's all sorts of like interactions which various dApps could have as well, like interdApp like reputation and all this stuff that just allows like some really crazy stuff to happen. And on the governance side as well, like your ability to actually like interact with governance in a social manner rather than just like with token gated governance, like the meritocratic governance model that's been proposed by the team, it's going to be incredible. It really is, and it will actually change the game. I don't like using the words change the game, but I believe the governance model of Galactica will do just that. So yeah, Frederick, do you have a particular like favorite use case before we go on to the others?
Yes, I have. But first, I want
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
to comment on Anne's use case, because I think it's a nice one that is possible on Galactica in my opinion, better way than what we have currently in a traditional kind of credit score. And I guess it also makes lots of sense for the blockchain space, because I think if you're lending something, that lending it for above 100% collateral doesn't make a lot of sense. And so if you can incorporate social aspects and reputation and personal data to somehow make a connection to your personal data that is, I'm not sure what the word is, that is responsible for repaying the loan, then it opens up a lot of more use cases that provide value to people who actually need loans to set up a business, for example.
Yeah, and not to mention the capital efficiency. Like the capital efficiency that's lost in DeFi is absolutely staggering. Like really, I'm 100% not up with the current how much more you need to provide as collateral right now. But like using an example, like I think most of the time you'll need to put up like 150%, 200% collateral just to get a loan. That takes an awful lot of liquidity out of DeFi, like a crazy amount. And when you get to the point where you've got provable identities on chain with a reputation that they want to uphold, then you can finally get collateral down below 100%, and you can free up so much liquidity for the DeFi space on your protocol. I think Galactica Network could end up being the most capital efficient blockchain created thus far. I'll say it that way. It's possible. I don't know what you think about capital efficiency, guys, but I mean I think that might be my favorite outcome there, if that comes to be.
Yeah, I also love efficiency.
For sure. There's also an interesting use case that was described to me by Sav Adaya, our glorious co-founder, who is not here with us today. But this was in the early stages, and he was talking about like the possibility for a privacy, like a roll-up focused on like a company, so that a company could have like a separate environment for them to like pay employees and do all that kind of like employee management stuff, while maintaining the privacy of everyone and maintaining their compliance, so they could like they could do payrolls into a mixer and all this kind of magical stuff that would allow like a company to take part in this space in a compliant manner, while just maintaining everyone's privacy. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool use case too. I'll have to dig out the diagram for that, because that was a good one.
That sounds interesting. And I guess he probably wants to start with our team first.
Of course. Yeah. We need to get paid.
Yeah.
Okay. Just got a request. I'm just going to get them up. 2 seconds. Okay. I think we've got the crypto native, my man, who has been producing videos like a madman. If anyone doesn't know crypto native already, you want to check out his YouTube channel. I don't know if the YouTube channel is in your profile. How you doing? Dad?
I'm doing well, boys. I hope you can hear me. I'm on a very primitive communication system here, but I'll give it my best shot. Thanks for that. Look, my favorite use case, if it is possible, is the idea of being able to build a reputation, providing liquidity or participating in this and that, over so many years or whatever, and being able to take that reputation with you cross-chain wherever you go for the rest of your, cryptocurrency participating life, and having that with you, so not having to build that trust wherever you go, and having it actually be a trustworthy, source. That sounds pretty exciting to me.
Man, yeah. I've been talking to a couple of protocols lately. One that does Cosmos integrations with AVAX, and one that does Cosmos integrations with, I want to say Near protocol. So if you can imagine like Galactica Network as its cipher state, right? So Galactica Network is a cipher state. It's an analog of digital society, where you can like prove your identity and all the great stuff that we've been talking about. But like if like what crypto native is alluding to, it becomes a reality. We could export the reputation that you gain on Galactica Network to other so-called cipher states that operate under different rules and have their own thing. You could call almost any protocol a cipher state that allows like identity in some form or fashion. They'll just have different rules, but you could export your reputation from Galactica to others, and that would be absolutely amazing if we get to that point of interoperability. And I'm so looking forward to that kind of thing. That's a great one. What do you think, Frederick? Do you think we're going to get to that point of interoperability where we can export our reputation that way?
I hope. I think this would be really great, and I think we also have a lot of base technology that we can use for it, like using IBC to bridge to other Cosmos chains, bridge to Ethereum, and of course also the different smart contract protocols being on Galactica itself. So I think this would be really great, and we're also looking forward to what reputation systems will emerge if Galactica goes live and grows, because I think it's a really nice system, and I'm curious on what is going to be built up there. In my opinion, we probably, as an ecosystem going forward, have to define it a little bit better on what we actually mean reputation to be. So on what the reputation actually means, and what actions either positively or negatively impact the reputation. But I think the way we build it it's generalized enough so that it's customizable, so that also different models for reputation can emerge, and that maybe your decentralized exchange number one can build a reputation that works for it, and a DAO can do it in a different way, and both systems can then see what best practices there are for reputation.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the best things about the whole thing is that you can choose your reputation metrics, whatever you want to use. So that's I think that's absolutely amazing that you can be so you can be so composable with the whole thing. Crypto Native, please. Sorry, you have your hand up.
Yeah. Look, just another thing. Look, I'm really big on collecting sports memorabilia. I'm not too sure what or how it may overlap, but I'm wondering in the future if they're like, certificate of authentication is a huge thing for me, obviously, if I'm going to buy some memorabilia, and I'm wondering if there may be some sort of overlap there in a very truthful sort of merit-based way that.
Yeah, mate. What about like one of the things that I've been thinking about with Galactica is that obviously because you can have these social metrics rather than just basing everything on a financial base, you can have like a genuine analog of a social club, and that means like exclusive collectors clubs, this kind of thing, where you could like have people. Like you could start a collectors club for these cards, right? You could have and then you could decide on the metrics with which allow people into that club. You could have like you could also I assume Frederick, I'm going to go way off the tangent here. You might need some form of guardian to do it. Like we use a guardian for the KYC stuff. We might use a guardian for like educational purposes. We might need a. So go on, Frederick, please. Like forgetting these proofs from the from off-chain on-chain is what I'm trying to talk about here.
Yeah. So as you said, to on-ramp basically your real-world data onto the system, the blockchain, we need some kind of institution that's checking and verifying the authenticity. So these are the guardians, and this doesn't only work for KYC, but also for university diplomas and whatever standards we want to build for certificates. Does that answer your question?
So if your sports memorabilia, the stuff that you collect has like an overarching organization that verifies these things, they could become a guardian, and they could prove which cards you have. You could have like a digital analog, that kind of thing, and then you could have like the only way into a club is by having a digital analog of one of these cards that's been proven to be what it is off chain. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting, guys. That's a pretty good conversation. But look, thanks for opening up the floor to us, guys, and love the space. Awesome.
You're welcome, man, and thank you so much for doing the videos. They're like that. That last one that you did is actually really impressive. So I don't know if you have like a link to your YouTube and your Twitter account or anything, mate.
You know what? I should, and I'll work on that. And thanks for thanks for putting my name out there. And I'll put something there, and guys can check out the videos if they want. Thanks for that.
Of course, man. Of course.
Cheers.
So yeah, if as he doesn't have it in the Twitter, just search Crypto Native. The way it's spelled in his Twitter name or in YouTube, and you'll find the videos. They're very informative, and we appreciate them. Okay, so I just wanted to talk a little bit. You know what? I'll say what I was going to say because Frederick's got his hand up. Please, mate.
So I didn't want to interrupt you, but if you want, I can also present my favorite use case that I thought of.
Please do, mate. Please.
Okay. It wasn't so easy to choose because I think there are a lot of use cases unlocked with the technology we want to build with Galactica. But I'm going with human-centric DAOs and voting systems because I think DAOs themselves, as we have them at the moment on other blockchains, are already a very compelling system with a lot of potential. And in my opinion, there are also a lot of cooperatives that are there in the real world, operating in, for example, Switzerland and Germany, that could be much more efficient and scalable if they use blockchain as a system for consensus. And I think Galactica can bring this to a new level, because we have some technologies that really help to bring personal data on chain and use it. So I would say there are three main ways on how Galactica improves DAOs and voting systems that decide to build on Galactica. The first one is that on Galactica we can do something like every human gets one vote in each vote of the DAO. And this is in contrast to other DAOs who are often controlled by tokenized voting power. That is leading to really financial aspect in these DAOs that gets away from the human-centric aspects. And I think it makes sense in the DAOs we have so far, for example, on Ethereum, because this financial cost is quite important to achieve some way of civil resistance, that one party cannot just create 1,000 different accounts and then have 1,000 votes, but that there's a real cost for it. But I think it has the large disadvantage that if your voting power or your participation in these DAOs costs so much, that the DAO or these tokens are also expected to give you some kind of return. And in my opinion, this limits the use cases of DAOs quite significantly. And the cool thing on Galactica is that we can onboard personal data like KYC on chain in a zero-knowledge KYC, and that this can be used to verify that a participant is a real human. And also we can use this human ID concept to give each participant a unique ID, and therefore ensure that every human only gets one vote, even if he or she uses multiple addresses. And I think this unlocks really new DAOs that focus on the public good that comes out for the people that stand behind it. And then there are also two other ways I wanted to mention on how Galactica improves these use cases. The second one is that with the personal data in zero-knowledge KYCs, you can also limit the DAOs to a specific area or location. Because in the KYC data, there's your address. And with our system, you can prove with a zero-knowledge proof that you live, for example, in a specific local area or in a town or a country or whatever. And then this can be more or less your entry ticket into the DAO. And this way I can build a DAO for my local community to vote on how we are creating the next summer party or something like this. And I think this will also be something really nice. And then the third thing is what we already spoken about, the reputation system, that when a DAO is set up and running, that there is a system to measure the participation of its users and to build then advanced systems on top of it, like reputation-based voting power, gamification, or rewards for important members. And I hope that with the technology we're offering there, that more DAOs and cooperatives come on chain and use this technology. But one of the challenges, I guess, for us as builders is to make the system as easily accessible as possible, so that also everyone who wants to use it can simply use it without a lot of technical barriers.
Man, that's a lot. That's awesome, man. Really, like there's so much there. If you can even imagine like the state of the world would be in if we had just governance systems in general that worked. like this is the kind of opportunity that I'm seeing here with Galactica. Like it's all based on a personal thesis that blockchain itself has so many characteristics that are perfect for governance, for voting, for just these actions that we need to take part in order to advance society. Like so many of these aspects are not available in in the current governance systems we use. If you go and vote for your like government representative, you don't have any transparency. You don't actually know, in any real sense, that your vote's been recorded correctly, that it's gone to the right person, that where it is, what's happening to it. So transparency, you don't have the immutability. Like you cannot change what's gone onto the chain. So that's another huge attribute of blockchain that makes so much sense for governance purposes. But the governance systems on blockchain, as we've seen in DAOs previously, have just been completely inadequate because they've all been based on the false premise of having a social activity such as governance that requires certain incentives not to be present, and we base these governance systems on finance. Which completely skews governance because it incentivizes people to make multiple accounts to try and game the system in any way they can to gain more power. So the ability of Galactica to take away that financial base from governance is just a absolute. This is why I said it was a game changer earlier, because it allows us to have all these amazing attributes of blockchain within governance while actually having the incentives in the right place. Sorry, Anne, you had your hand up for a bit. Please, mate, carry on if you want to.
I want to follow up on Frederick's use case because I also think that having a good voting system is essential for each project because each protocol a lot of protocol have certain development funds or some improvement proposals, which are also passed or chosen based on the voting system, and a lot of projects, for example, have a very straightforward voting system just based on the where the voting weight just based on the token, the amount of tokens that each address has. And there have been a lot of hacks that happen because of flash loans, where the hacker just through the flash loans bought a lot of the voting tokens and passes some malicious proposals. So that's one thing that we need to be aware of. And secondly, having a good voting system can enable a better fund allocations and makes the protocol improve and upgrade faster and better. Like to reach the better state like faster. So yeah, I think that's very important.
I couldn't agree more. And like I say, we come up across this problem so often in this space. We really do. I was talking to some guys in a space focused on Cardano just like a day or two ago. They were describing how their decentralized funding mechanism has been completely overtaken by basically people who hold a lot of the governance token. So a lot of people who hold vast amounts of ADA, the token of Cardano, have basically completely overrun the centralized funding mechanism, and they basically only let through the things that will benefit them financially. And a lot of like genuine good projects that would otherwise be funded are not being, because it's just a plutocracy at this point. So that's the kind of thing that that governance on Galactica can solve if it's implemented correctly. Frederick, sorry, you have your mic open. I don't know if you wanted to add to that or not. Otherwise, we'll continue.
No, it's fine. But I just remember the phrase. I think that fits quite nicely that on Galactica you can build DAOs that are by the people for the people. And I think that's quite nice.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. One other thing that I don't know if you guys can tell me if this is possible, because this is something that I personally wanted to maybe plan out and implement if it's a possibility. Is some kind of verification DAO, something that allows like multiple file types to be verified with like a ZK proof attached to them, so like an image or a video or anything like that, in order to and then provide verification and attestation for content for like for media purposes, things like that. So for verified media, which is another thing which is possible on Galactica, I suppose, through the reputation system, like having reputation for media outlets, but specifically like for the verification of files and media. Is that something that we could? Is that something that's firstly possible?
An interesting question. I really like this use case idea, because I think it's a quite important one to build this kind of system that makes media more responsible, and also have an impact on whether what they publish is actually true or not. And probably having it now is quite cool, because then you have a decentralized and diverse set of people who can verify something. So maybe you could randomly pick people who have kind of the first say on whether something is legit or not, and then maybe a system so that it can be challenged by others who think that the decision was wrong or something like this. And you also wanted to bring in zero knowledge somehow. What do you want to prove, and what do you want to hide in this proof?
Yeah, that's actually based on something I listened to on the Zero Knowledge podcast. So for anyone who's not aware, there's a podcast called Zero Knowledge. They mostly discuss the very high-end tech of things. So it's kind of dry listening for most, but it's very interesting if you've got the time and the patience. So they were suggesting in one of their recent episodes that some university workers had already proven the concept that you could attach like a less than 4 megabyte or 4 kilobyte, I forget, proof to an image in order to prove that it hasn't been manipulated or changed. This is nothing to do with crypto or blockchain, obviously, but it's a concept that could be transferred over, I think, and then used within such like a verification DAO, I guess.
I think it's based on what we want, like from the media. If like we already know like the metrics that we want to evaluate each user for some number of posts or number of likes or something, we can just add any other criteria. We can create a guardian or system of decentralized guardians, the decentralized system guardians to import this data on chain.
I got you. So yeah, I mean that was like I think most of my off the wall suggestions have come through tonight. But yeah, I mean I think if we want to go for like the kind of like primary use case of Galactica Network now, because I think it's probably best if we start to wind down at this point. But I would still like to invite anyone who's in the audience, if you would like to come up quickly, ask a question, or if you just want to say hi, no worries at all. We'd love to say hi back, because most of you guys are from the community anyway. So yeah, if you'd like to, please, and give us a like and a retweet on the space. Thank you. So the primary use case of Galactica is that of citizenship. And I think that is overall, the most exciting, I told you, favorites, but like most exciting, is the ability to gain something akin to a citizenship to a protocol. It's not really been done before, as far as I can tell. At least, there have been lots of this of citizenships in name, but not in function. So I think the ability to own the protocol in such a real way, and gain value back from the protocol in the form of your universal basic income, it's huge. And it's not just like a token value either. It's the genuine value output of the blockchain, which is coming back to you in the form of UBI. So if you hold your Galactic Network citizenship, you will get it gives you the right to UBI. It also gives you the right to run a validator for reference. It also gives you the right to govern the protocol. But like I say, these UBI kickbacks, they come from multiple sources. It's not just actually the value of the it's not just value from inflation. It's value from things like the Academy of Sciences, which is also a hugely impressive, decentralized funding mechanism, in my opinion. So any project that gets funded through that, part of the value, if it succeeds and if it gets funded through the multiple levels that takes, then some of the value of that protocol goes straight back into the UBI. So it goes straight back to you, the people who voted for it because you thought it was good for the protocol. It's a very holistic and very well designed system, I think. So I think we'll close out with maybe Frederick and Anne, your guys' opinions on citizenship as a use case and a concept.
Yeah, I'm quite excited about it because I think it also goes a bit in the direction I mentioned before, the DAOs and voting system. And this would be a quite important set of people that also control how the Galactica ecosystem is developing in the future.
I like the idea there's some kind of global profile that I can use my reputation from different dApp to use in, for example, so that I can also build up the reputation over time and also use that for some other dApp elsewhere in the future.
100%. It's going to be an interesting time. So I think we'll, like I said, we'll start wrapping up. From your guys' perspective who are listening, the current ways you can kind of get involved, firstly, by just joining Discord. So if you're not already, which I think most of you are, then just jump in Discord. And again, if you would like to get involved in perhaps some future work, just some community work, or any just making use of some of your skills for Galactica Network, just find me on Discord, Citizen42, and give me a DM. I'd love to get your interest. I'd love to gauge the interest of this kind of thing. We've already got a few people who are interested, I believe. So we'll be getting in touch. But if you're interested and if you have a skill that you believe that you can provide for Galactica Network, then please just get in touch and we will see what we can do. If you are struggling at all, or if you wish to learn a bit more about the Cyberstate campaign, then please also just ask in Discord. If you are stuck at any point, or if you need some advice on how to accelerate your progress there, please let us know. I think actually I looked at the rankings on Zealy the other day. You guys are crushing it, absolutely crushing it. I feel like I've got left behind. You guys have got 3 times more many points than me. It's crazy. So thank you for taking it and running with this, guys. And I can't wait until you guys get your Galactica Network citizenships from all the effort you put in. It's really great. And yeah, I think Again, guys, if you could just give us a like and a retweet before we close up the space. I know that it won't get any more people in now, but it will definitely help more people get the recording, which is really important at this point. These are like educational. They're hopefully rewarding for anyone who listens to them. So when I put this up on YouTube, this will all be timestamped so people can understand like each use case and every piece of value, hopefully, that we've given today. And it'll be like in digestible little bite-sized pieces. So yeah, hopefully it will provide some value in the recording. So just give us a like and a retweet. It'd be absolutely amazing. I just want to say thank you very much, guys, for joining us today. I realize it's been a smaller room, and I realize we haven't been as consistent as we were on the days and timings of these spaces, for which I would like to apologize. We are going to be going back to a more consistent schedule. Not only that, but we'll also be trying to include, as I said earlier, some more underserved time zones. Whether that's with me or whether that's with someone else, we'll have to figure all this out. But we want to serve as many people as possible and give the most people the opportunities as we humanly possibly can. So just in the spirit of transparency, we will be skipping next Tuesday's space, and we will be going to we'll be going on Friday again. But from that point on, we should be going Tuesday, Friday. Okay. So you have an idea of what's in our head right now and what we're able to organize. Okay, I think that's pretty much it from us, guys. So I don't know if Frederick or Anne, if you have any, if you would like to have any final thought, or if you'd just like to say goodbye, please do, Frederick.
One final thought, maybe, just because we are talking about use cases in this Twitter space, and I think one important use case I still want to mention is compliant privacy. That with the knowledge KYC technology we're building, that you can finally prove to protocols or dApps or projects on chain that you are really human and you're adult and all these things you might want to prove, or that the dApp might need you to prove in order to be compliant with, I don't know, MiCA 2.0 or whatever. And that with this system, this is finally possible also in a private way, so that I can prove the statement of being compliant without sharing my personal data, so it doesn't get leaked, nobody can abuse it, and so on. Yeah, so that's just my final comment on the use cases. And otherwise, goodbye, have a nice evening, good day, wherever you are. I think it's really nice to have these Twitter spaces, and thanks, Dave, for organizing it. I'm really enjoying it.
Of course, Frederick. Yeah, no, I really appreciate you guys coming. Anne, do you have any final thought, or you just want to say goodbye?
Yeah, I just want to say goodbye. Yeah, thank you for having me here. I'm looking forward to what Galactica will bring in the future.
Absolutely, man. Well said. So yeah, guys, make sure you check the pin tweet. Again, Cypher State campaign. If you're not already on it, get on it. Again, most of you guys are already crushing me at the points, so I don't know why I'm really even chilling that, but still. In any case, yeah, if you need help, just let us know on Discord, guys. We really appreciate you coming. So thank you, everyone. I realize it's late on a Friday night, so I hope you guys have a really, really good one, a good party or a good chill, regardless of what your preferences are. And we will see you next time. Again, it's going to be on Friday next week for the next one. So we'll see you on the next episode of Galactica Core Cast. Have a good one, guys. Bye.